just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine, I minded my own business till the day you took me home. You came into my life like a...
Hey everyone, as promised, I'm here today to share a close-up look of the exterior of our farmhouse. I've been promising that I would share an up-close look at the before we dive in and start the renovations that are hopefully going to be happening very soon, starting next month. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Let's take a stroll up this driveway and let me show you what we're dealing with here.
Well, I thought I knew what life...
If you're new here, my name is Leah, and my husband and I own and operate our beef cattle farm along with our 2 children, and our farmhouse is kind of nestled right in the middle of our 80-acre property. We have been slowly but surely renovating our home and our farm ever since we moved in about 7 years ago now. And so it's definitely been a journey, and it's been a slow one because we've been doing a little bit at a time just as we save up the money, as we have the time. Most of what we have been doing, we've done ourselves. And so it just takes longer that way. We've done a lot of projects inside, which I'm sure if you've been here a while, you've already seen that. But even with all of that, we're only about halfway done with the inside of the house, and we've not even started on the outside. So we have a long way to go, but we really have enjoyed the process, and it really makes it that much more special when it takes a little while for it to happen. It definitely makes you more grateful and more appreciative when those projects do come to an end.
place we first met.
Pretty much everything you see here is in bad shape, and it's going to be replaced. The only thing that's not going to be touched other than to be cleaned really well is the brick. All of these shrubs that I planted, they do not fit the space, but I did this because I wanted to try to camouflage the bad windows, because I knew when we moved in that renovating the outside of this house was years down the road. And so I planted these to kind of camouflage the really ugly windows, and it worked really well. But we're definitely going to be ripping all of those out before we start this reno, and I can't wait to go back in later on and add lots of new landscaping and really make it look nice and tie in with the farm and the rest of the outside of the house. I've mentioned recently how, I usually don't share a lot of close-up photos or videos of the outside of our house. I think you're beginning to see why. Like I said, it's in really bad shape, and it's just time to renovate it and get it done. But I haven't really shared a whole lot up close, and so I think this might come as a surprise to a lot of people that it really looks the way it does. Like I said, unless you've been here in person, you don't really know how bad it is, but you can tell it's dated. We've painted everything and tried to spruce it up the best we could when we first moved in, just to kind of hold us over. This house was a really, really, really bad shade of green. It was just horrible. I don't know why that color was chosen, but it was like a John Deere kind of green. The siding, the windows, everything was painted that color, and so we just came in with white paint and tried to spruce it up the best we could, hold us over. One of the things I'm most excited about is a front porch, and that's something that we're not completely sure we can do right away, but we're really going to try. We want to have a big farmhouse front porch, plenty enough room to add rocking chairs, seating. We have a really pretty view of the farm from this front part of our house here, and so it would be really nice to be able to utilize the front porch for visiting and morning coffee, and I can just think of so many ways that we could really enjoy that space. Let me show you an up-close look at the windows and some of the trim. I know I said the windows were rotten. As you can see, I was not exaggerating. They're in such bad shape. You can actually poke your finger through and your hand will go through some of the trim. It's that bad. So this is just a really expensive project, and it definitely should have been done before now, but this is just not something that we could do right away. like I said, it's pricey, and we want to make sure that we're choosing materials that will stand the test of time, quality materials. And so we're really excited that we're finally able to do it. Here's another up close look at the windows. This is the actual living room window, so you can just see how bad they are. You can also see the green paint that's kind of over on the brick there. That's the color of green this entire house was. So it's definitely going to take some work to revive our brick as well. But I love the look of brick on a home. I've had so many questions, people asking if we're going to paint the brick, and we're not planning to paint the brick. I know that's really popular right now, but I can't help but think that one of these days there's going to be a lot of people who regret painting their brick. I think it's pretty trendy right now. I think it's beautiful, but it's just not something that we want to do with our home. We really feel that we can get our brick that we currently have looking good. That's definitely on the list of things to do. So we're excited to see how it all turns out. Now I'm going to take you along the back wall of our house. This is actually one of my favorite areas of our home in the spring and summer months. I recently redid this entire back wall flower garden, although it doesn't really look like it right now. It's pretty sad looking, but we planted a ton of new perennials back here. So I'm so excited to see all of those come to life this spring and summer. It's going to be really pretty. I also forgot to throw out the ferns, so they've just kind of died right there in the wash pans. So it's pretty sad looking back here, along with the dreary weather we've had. It's super muddy, so I am so ready for spring. I want to show you another look here at the windows. This is the window that's in our dining area. You can see bits of that green paint trying to come back out because I tried to cover it the best I could, but yeah, definitely time for new windows. The brick back here, I love the color. It just needs a really good cleaning. We're planning to go with white trim, white windows. We just feel like that will complement our brick well. And then the back door you see here, we're gonna do some kind of something to make it kind of welcoming, maybe a little bit of a roof or awning, something to kind of make the back door sort of a focal point of the back of the house rather than it just blending in. The roof will also be replaced. That is going to be silver standing seam metal, which I'm so excited about. It's so beautiful. I've looked up so many pictures of it and we've settled on silver. And then here you can kind of see, as we pan up here, you will see a little bit of that green paint that's left over because we just didn't even bother painting up there. It's kind of weird how the power is coming out right there, so we have to have the power company come and fix all of that. It's not really supposed to be coming from the house that way, so we're having all of that fixed. So because we knew we'd have to do that in the future, we just didn't even bother painting. Okay guys, let's do a little recap and let's see if you can envision what I'm envisioning for the outside of this house. So, silver standing seam metal roof. We're gonna have white windows, white trim, white siding, all of which will be painted the same shade of alabaster white that it is now because I love that shade. That chimney you see will not be there. That's just gonna be gone. It goes with an old furnace system. The chimney that we do use with our wood stove, that's going to be rebuilt. We're going to do a big front porch so we can have rocking chairs. It will not be anything fancy. It'll be very simple, but it will be spacious and something that we can enjoy and be able to look out on the farm. I'm so excited about it. So let me know what you think about our plans. I'm sure there's going to be things that you may do differently. We all have a different taste, I know, but let me know what you think, and let me just encourage you that if you are in the midst of renovating and doing projects like we are, I know it can be overwhelming. There are so many times that I just want to cry because I feel so overwhelmed living in a fixer-upper for this long. Something's always torn apart, something always needs to be done, but there's also so much growth that can happen during all of this. And I've mentioned this before, but I really think that God has used this farm and our home and just this year in general to teach me a lot about patience and to help me grow in my walk with Him. And seriously, that's what it's all about.
I was doing fine. I minded my own business till the day you took me home.
That's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this gave you a better idea of kind of where we're starting out with this renovation of the outside of our farmhouse. I hope this kind of gives you more of a look at what we plan to do, and hopefully you can visualize with me what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. I'm so excited. We are set to begin the second week in February, so we'll see how it all unfolds, and I'll definitely be sharing the process with all of you as time goes on. So I'm so excited about it. Thanks again for being here. I always appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye.
Was all about that song had already been sung. I was going on, still minding my own business. Never knew the life had just begun. You came into my life like a sweet embrace.